Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's only 2:15 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Yes, it's earlier than usual. My hair is actually still wet. I hurried to get out here this morning because there's something I want to say. Before the usual day starts rolling, and I start getting more anxiety and more anger and more inflamed in this whole situation, there's something I want to get off my chest about yesterday's video. This morning, I pray every morning. I'm not trying to sound religious. I'm not trying to say you guys should have religion or faith or anything. Since I've been clean and sober for the last 17 years and 9 months, I pray every single morning, and it's helped me. Yeah, I'm a liberal. I'm a Biden supporter. I'm a liberal, and I actually pray, and I believe in Jesus and God. Imagine that. I want to talk about yesterday's video because when I prayed this morning, I knew in my heart the video I made yesterday was wrong. Okay, and it's not wrong because of how I felt, because I still honestly, in my heart, I hate to say this, but I still don't have sympathy for those people. But what I did wrong was making that video. I know in my heart, by making that video, even if I haven't looked at the views, I haven't looked at the comments since I downloaded that video yesterday. I have no idea how many views it got. I have no idea how many, the comments, the likes, I have no idea whatsoever. It could have got 5 views. It could have got 500, 5,000. I have no idea. But in my heart, I know this. By making that video yesterday, I'm just making the situation worse. I know in my heart, the kind of person I am, it was the wrong thing to do. I'm making the situation worse. Even if I honestly in my heart do feel like that, I shouldn't have made that video. I'm going to tell you guys why I made the video. The last couple of days since this Trump thing's happened, I've talked about my anxiety before this. I'm not a very anxiety prone guy. I'm not a nervous guy. I'm a laid back, easygoing guy. But with this whole election year and what I foresee coming with the election, I've had anxiety, and it has been amped up 100 times in the last 2 days. And I'll tell you why. I don't think one single voter was swayed by what happened at the Trump rally. I think the people that were going to vote for Biden or not for Trump still aren't going to vote for him, and I think the people that were going to vote for him are going to vote for him even more. I don't think I think people are so entrenched and untrusting and hateful towards each other, which is why I shouldn't have made yesterday's video, that nothing changed. Now here's something else that I thought that I'm going to have to come to the acceptance that whether I like it or not, Donald Trump is probably going to be president. He picked JD Vance, and the problem I have with JD Vance, I've talked about this before, being in recovery, he's taking away a tool from people in recovery. By blaming Mexico, by blaming immigration, he's taking away a tool from people like me, taking responsibility for our actions. We're the ones that wave the money around. We're the ones that buy that stuff. We're the ones that if there wasn't a demand, there wouldn't be a supply. By JD Vance blaming Mexico and blaming immigration, he's taking away a tool from people in recovery like me. And that's the problem I have with JD Vance. But now with the election coming up in November, one of two things is going to happen. Either Biden's going to win or Trump's going to win. If Biden wins, no Trump supporter in this country is going to believe it after what just happened 2 days ago. Like I said, I don't think one voter was swayed. There might be like 51% Biden voters and 49, it might even be closer than that. It probably is. So there's still a chance that Biden could win. But if he does win, there is going to be mayhem, chaos, and I hate to say this. I fear this. I don't want to see this, but I think there'll be violence because Trump supporters are just so sure that he is the Messiah. I swear in the Bible, I see people I know on Facebook calling Donald Trump the Savior and the Messiah now, just outright. God intervened. He is this guy is going to be the king of America for the rest of my life. That's, it scares the hell out of me. I don't know if I should either move to, I'm not just saying this. I have relatives. I'm French Canadian and Micmac Native American, and I'm seriously considering moving to Canada. Because I think there's going to be, now I'm going to move on to the next part of this video. why I made yesterday's video. I saw a couple things that really inflamed me. Number one, before I even made the video, I started thinking about Paul Pelosi. Remember Nancy Pelosi's husband getting attacked with the hammer? Remember the way Trump supporters, and remember the way Donald Trump himself responded to that? Making jokes, laughing, making up these lies about who it was and what happened and how it was supposedly Paul's gay lover or some nonsense like that, which is, this stuff is all untrue. So now this stuff happens at the rally, and people, us on the left, we're supposed to have sympathy and come together. Paul Pelosi wasn't the next president, but still, it was a person on the left and a person on the right. And look how Donald Trump himself reacted to that hideous crime. He laughed about it, But in my heart, I know it's not right for me to do the same, like I did with yesterday's video. Even though I don't feel a whole lot of sympathy for the people at that rally, I shouldn't have talked about it in the video because it's just going to make matters worse. There's going to be people that see my video, only if it's a couple, and they're going to agree. They might agree, they might not agree, but it's going to make the situation worse by making that video, and that's what I regret. Here's another reason why I made that video. I never heard of Benny Johnson before. I'll put the link down below. He's a big person on the right, on YouTube here. I never even heard of him. And I saw all these videos mocking Joe Biden, how De Niro was crying and was speechless and all this other stuff, So I'm like, who is this guy? And I looked at some of his videos, and it was right after the Trump incident. I'll have the link to this video right down below. And right at the beginning of this video, this whole Trump thing, this rally thing just happened. And this guy blames people on the left. He says this guy was he says the shooter was a left-wing, all this rhetoric, and that is blatantly untrue. And then this guy goes on, he donated 50, he's a registered Republican, and it doesn't really freaking matter. See, he's a person dividing this country more, this Benny Johnson. And then I reacted in the same way by making a video saying I didn't have sympathy, and that made me like Benny Johnson, and I don't like that about myself. I'll put the video down below. This Benny Johnson apparently is religious and all this other stuff, and he's talking about God and how God saved Donald Trump, but in the same breath he's just outright lying, and he knows he's lying about this guy being a left-wing whatever. I mean, the most that you could say that this guy was a left-wing Antifa or whatever is that supposedly he donated $15 to some Biden thing years ago. That does not make him left-wing. Marjorie Taylor Greene did the same thing yesterday. That the people on the left, Democrats, are vile and violent, and they hate this. It's all this rhetoric, and pointing the finger at people like me. That I had something to do with this thing at the rally, and it made me angry. It made me want to fight back. Even though I really don't feel a whole lot of sympathy for the people at that rally because of stuff that happened to Paul Pelosi, I know it's not right in my heart. Just because two wrongs don't make a right. And I actually prayed this morning to have forgiveness and acceptance and everything else, towards people that don't agree with me. I really did. I think that sums up everything. The links will be down below. Marjorie Taylor Greene and her rhetoric about people on the left and violent, all this other stuff after the Donald Trump rally incident. Benny Johnson video blaming the left. This guy's a left-wing lunatic, he calls him. There's no proof of that. You're just making this worse. And I responded by doing the same thing, and that was wrong of me. So, even though how I feel, I'm going to keep it to myself. Like my mother said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. And that's what I should have done yesterday. All right, the links will be down below. Have a good Tuesday.